Hi everybody, this is Christy with Paper Hoarder Disorder, and I wanted to show you, I have a little guest in here right now, and this is my little Missy. She is a teacup Yorkie. She is super sweet. Say hi, Missy. Look how teeny weeny she is. Now she is 2 years old and she is full grown. Look how teeny weeny she is. She's all of 3.5 pounds and she is full grown. She might get a little wider if I keep on feeding her all that refrigerated dog food. But say hi, Missy. Say, look what a good girl I am. She needs a bath and she needs a groom, but she is so super sweet. And Missy, look at the camera. Say, look how cute I am. So I just wanted to show you guys. This is my favoriteest little toy in my craft room, and she came to say hi. Say, see you later, Missy. Okay, let's get back to work. You get down here. You go sit over here. Okay, so the little highs and greetings from Missy. So I hope you guys liked seeing my sweet little girl. Just love her to pieces. I've never been so absolutely amazed and in love with any puppy as I am with her. So anyways, I thought I'd share a little bit of my joy with you guys. Okay, so now we're going to, this is Christy with Paper Hoarder Disorder, and we are going to start video number 3 in the decorating for the 6x6 boxed accordion album. And on this one, we're going to do the layered chipboard snowflake. So when you get these, you may have to punch out some of the little pieces in here. Sometimes they don't cut all the way through, and I don't always have the time to punch every single one of them out. I do make sure that they cut as well as can be expected. But sometimes there's little pieces like here. You can see there's a little bit of chipboard here. So usually you can just use a stylus, and sometimes you have to just kind of rip it off of the back. Or you could use, you can kind of peel it back. See how it didn't quite cut all the way through, and that does happen. And you can just trim it off. Actually, the little fine detail scissors tend to work better for this. So, again, this one needs to come out. So there might be a teeny bit of prep work, but for the most part, they are ready to go. This one's clear, and this one needs its center popped out. And so that is ready. And again, we have a tiny bit of extra, which you cannot see right here. There's a tiny bit of extra here. And so we're just going to peel that to the back and trim it from there. So any of the lightweight chipboard that's showing through, we're just going to give it a little bit of a haircut. Okay, so that is ready. So let's go ahead and get rid of the extra pieces. And so what we're working on right now is to build this snowflake right here. Get rid of our pieces. Now there's also one other thing. Now this is white shimmer paper that was glued to a lightweight chipboard and then die cut through with the Tim Holtz, I believe it's Tim Holtz. Let me grab that die for you. I tried to show you all the dies that I used. Okay, so it's this one right here. I believe this is about a $30 die. It's a little more expensive because it's a big one. But this is called Stacked Snowflakes, and this is a newer one this year. So anywho, when these are glued together, you cannot cover without getting your paper completely saturated. You can't cover the whole thing with glue. So you have to go through and you have to kind of peel up these edges to kind of expose the areas where we need to address it and we need to add a little bit more glue. And this is just part of it. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to add a little glue just right underneath there. This little edge come up, I'm just going to use, and this is where those glitter tips really come in handy, ladies. I hope you guys have them, because if you don't, You really need them. If you know me, I am a glue user. It's permanent. That's the reason why these projects last as long as they do. And it's also a money saver. And if you've been following my videos, you've heard all of this before. Okay, so again, I'm just going to go through and I'm going to make sure that all of these are glued down all the way to the edges. Again, I'm going to loosen any areas, kind of testing everything. It's okay to slightly bend it up out of the way so that you can add glue. You don't want to get too crazy with it, but so really all we're doing, I don't even have to glue them down right away because they're such small areas that I can do them so quickly. And there's a tiny little bit that needs to be trimmed off. Okay, so that's just about perfect. Okay, so those are done. Again, this one. Again, we're not trying to pry it up. We're just trying to see where the loose edges are, where we need to reinforce that bond. Give it a little attention. There we go. Let's see. The little ones tend to have more. Yeah. Just a little bit of maintenance on there. Okay, so what we're going to do now, and I still see just a tiny bit. It keeps on trying to peek through. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do on here now is we're going to, now there are two ways you can do this. You can do this with the thin, this is the 3M Scotch mounting tape, and so it's the pretty low profile one. It's maybe a 1/16 of an inch thick, as compared to like the Michaels, which is very, very thick. I mean, you can get that stuff up to 1/4 of an inch thick, which is 4 times the thickness of this. So this is what I refer to as low profile mounting tape. And I rarely buy squares. I like to cut it off of a roll. That way it's a custom fit every time. So you can use this, or because this has a chipboard back, it has a lightweight chipboard back, but it's still a chipboard back, and it's something that's stronger than just cardstock or just, you know, single thickness pattern paper. Because it is a little more substantial, you have an option. You can use this, or you can use real chipboard. Now you can use scraps of this, and if you ever need any scraps, when you're ordering kits from me, you just tell me. If you want craft, you want black, whatever you want. If you need little tiny scraps like this, I have oodles of them, and I am more than happy to throw them in your package. So, anywho, I'm going to cut these off at about 1/4 inch pieces, and then I'm going to cut them again. And so this is almost a 1/16 of an inch thick, which is almost the same thickness as this. The difference is that this is very sturdy stuff, and it's not attached by dry adhesive. So that gives it a very large benefit in my opinion. So I'm going to cut a little piece that is going to be approximately the center of this. So let's see. I want to make sure it's completely covered up. So I'm going to go a little bit smaller. And again, your Timmy scissors will go right through this. So I'm going to make sure I use a piece that's covered completely by the snowflake. And this is going to be much sturdier than mounting tape, because this is attached through dry adhesive and it's just simple foam. So this is going to be much sturdier. So with this, we're able to, I'm doing a single thickness on this, and then I'm going to attach it staggered right there onto the next one. And when I mean staggered, you see how this point is right in between those 2 points. So we've got the small point is here, and the 2 larger points are here. So they're staggered all the way through. Okay, so on the next level, I like to add 2 layers. Again, I want to make sure that you can't see it from the other side, so let's trim just a smidge off of here. And this one probably needs a smidge off of here. So that looks good to me. So again, I'm going to add a little glue. Now, if you try to do this technique of using chipboard in place of pop dots, which by the way is pretty much free compared to buying pop dots, not that they're expensive, but this is a much more permanent solution. You don't want to use it with the lightweight, the cardstock or the pattern paper, because you will see the lines of the chipboard through it. On this one, you won't, because it's much more substantial. So on here, we're going to add some glue, and I'm probably going to end up getting that on my mat, but it's okay. So again, we're going to stagger it. So I did one layer after the first, 2 layers after the second. And we're just going to gradually increase it. There's the glue. I don't like glue on my mat. And I got a little bit of glue on the top, but it should not matter. There we go. And then on the next one, I think that looks pretty centered there. It doesn't look centered on the back, but it is centered. Okay, so I'm going to add a couple more space pieces here. Yep, that works for me. Okay, and I'm going to add a second. And I'm even going to add a third. So just like I said before, the first layer we do 1 layer of chipboard. Second we do 2. Third we do 3. So very simple so far. And then on this one, I'm going to go ahead and add glue to this one, and it's going to get on my mat again, but it's okay. I want to make sure it's centered on this one. Again, staggered. Okay, and there we have our layered chipboard snowflake with just the right dimensions between here. And it's made with the chipboard, so it's far more. We didn't even end up using those little pieces that I cut in the beginning, so but it doesn't really matter because it's just scraps anyways. But on this one, when I go to add this down, I am going to, there won't be any dimension back here. I'm going to glue this entire large piece straight down. So now you can put it on the bottom, you can put it on the top, wherever you like it. So there is how to assemble our layered snowflake. So let's go ahead, and we've got time. Let's go ahead and do one more. I did want to go over briefly how to do the this punched edge, if this is the one you chose. Okay, so here's the silver side and here's the back side. This is, like I said, it's POW paper. It's very thin. So what I do with this is I just use, when I go, I'm not going to glue it down, but I will kind of demonstrate. So what I do is just very quickly, I go over just
every kind of little edge that I can get, I at least touch it. I don't have to have full coverage. But what I do want to caution you is don't use a ton of glue because it'll seep out. You want to cover as much area as quickly as possible. The glitter tip's going to help you do that. You can run it through your Xyron, but you would have to trace the edges to make sure you don't end up with like the glue goobers everywhere. So basically, you use your glue if you use your glitter tip and you hit all of the main areas all the way through it, especially the outer edges, and you get this all glued within about 60 seconds, then it won't have time to dry and you'll be able to lay it straight down here and get it on there. So, and then when you get it on there, when you lay it on there, there's going to be a tiny bit of seepage. So what I would do is I would take a little wet wipe, and as soon as it's down, I would just start sponging it and keep on turning it so that it's picking up the excess glue that's kind of seeping out. And that's going to help you. You could probably use a paper towel as well, but I think that, you know, the baby wipes are a bit finer, so it'll pick up a little bit more glue. So anyways, that might help you. So next we're going to move on to the frosted snowflakes, which just always makes me smile. I can't help it. I guess I'm just a kid at heart. I'll get that in there later. So let's move this over here. So next we are going to do our frosted snowflakes right here. And so we're going to take our pieces here and here and here. And we've got one here. So we have 4 snowflakes here. Now basically what happened here, how I created these was this. Okay, so I took a piece of lightweight chipboard, and now mind you, this is very, very thin stuff. It's about the thickness of cereal box. It's about the thickness of the back of a paper pad. But you can buy this by the sheet at Michael's in the open stock paper, which is where, well, I used to get it. Now I get it through Uline. But anyway, so I take this, and then I take some white cardstock, 65 pound, and I glue this to it. Okay, and then I use the Tim Holtz frosted film, and you can see a sample of this right here. So that's what the frosted film looks like. It's not really focusing. There we go. So that's what the frosted film looks like. And then I just put it over the white and then I die cut it. So when that's die cut, it is cut from this one. It's cut through this, and then it's also cut with these movers and shapers, which are back here. So we've got four different snowflakes that are cut out of this. So for those of you who are just purchased the video tutorial and doing it yourself, or live out of the country and have to do it for yourself, although if you live out of the country and you have a special order, I'm happy to accommodate. I just don't do it on a regular basis. But if you have an order, I'm happy to help you. It can just be so very expensive to for shipping. So on here, again, there might be some little voids here, especially on this snowflake here. Take your little precision scissors and just push those out of the way and then come through the back and snip them off. Super easy stuff, ladies. Okay, and I didn't quite get them enough. I didn't get them close enough. Probably best if you look at it from the right side to make sure you get it all. Okay. That is pretty much it. Make sure those are pushed out of the way. Yeah, these are very delicate cuts, and you know, they don't always cut cleanly through thick materials. So, but they do cut thick materials, so I'm happy to have them. Okay, so there we go. We have that snowflake. So what we're going to do in order to create this one is we have the circle one on the back. Again, you want to go ahead and you want to check this, and you want to see what needs to be glued down. So it's just two sides on this one. And then on this one, there's one. So just one on this one. All right, and again, we can, if we want to, I threw away all those little pieces and now I can use them. That's okay, I can cut some more. Well, let's see here. So I'm going to just take some chipboard. Again, these I can do it with because they have lightweight chipboard on the back of them, so they're much sturdier than just plain cardstock. So on these, we're going to put that right there. Pull anything we want out of the way, out of the way. And I'm going to add glue, and this is just one layer. I think we just did one layer on that one. And again, I'm going to stagger it. And over here, I'm going to just go ahead and add it on top. And one more layer.
Get it back. Get it back.
That's Connor. He's wanting a little bit of attention, so as soon as this is done, I'm going to have to disappear for a minute, and then we'll come back with the final video. Okay, so this one makes up your layered frosted chipboard, and that will go on the front here, just like that one. And these are cut from POW paper, the 25, just like we did before. I glued the POW paper to the lightweight chipboard and die cut it out, and that was die cut from here on the 25, and we also die cut, this was the Noel,